JTBS.
Off of it.
The game knows. That sucks.
It was 6 hours too. It's brutal.
Oh no! You had me at 6 hours. The longest game I've ever sped run is Castlevania 2, and I have a 39:53 in glitchless for that. That's long enough. Anything longer, I'm going to be pulling my hair out.
Yeah, he said it was the most crushing defeat of his speedrunning career. I believe it.
I believe it too. It's a 6 hour run. That's what makes it more crushing. It's a 6 hour run. It's Final Fantasy, which is a game that has an insane amount of RNG. You think Castlevania 2 has a lot of RNG? Playing RPGs like Final Fantasy, where you have to manipulate stuff, you have to hope for good RNG, and all of that. Yeah, that's a brutal defeat. I'd feel bad for him too if I had seen it.
Yeah, all of chat was feeling terrible for him.
That's seeing something like that is one big reason why I would never run an RPG speedrun like that. I'd be pulling my hair out. I'd be throwing things. I'd probably have a destroyed monitor, so that's why I don't do it.
Are you ready for us, JSR? Nice.
All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Legend of Zelda Any Percent No Up and A tournament. We are in week 2 of the Swiss rounds, and we have a very exciting matchup for you on tap tonight. Super Bowl Sunday, we have got CrystalSaver and Breasticle, who are both 1-0 in the tournament. They're going to be looking to try to be 2-0 in just a matter of 35 minutes or so. Hi everyone, this is LOZ Cards Fan 23, along with my partner Redbird Grad. This is a very intriguing matchup indeed. You've got Breasticle, who's got a time of around 29 minutes and 30 seconds as his PB. CrystalSaver, who was the runner-up in a previous tournament a year or two ago, who lost to the grand champion Lack Attack, which there's no shame of doing. He's one of the best runners in the business. CrystalSaver is really good at this game. He's got a PB of 30-30, and I believe we are underway, or are we still practicing?
No, I think we're underway here. We got, like you said, this is a Super Bowl Sunday type of thing, and this is a very hype matchup. I mean, neither one of these guys need an introduction. They're fantastic at the game, and it's kind of going to be which one gets the early lead, which one gets through 3 and 4 clean, and let's kind of sit back and watch. This is going to be a great show here.
Oh, absolutely, and both of these runners have the same route in mind, it looks like, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, so both these guys going at the 3 first route. This is a little more dangerous. This is the world record route. What makes this route so dangerous is you're going through levels 3 and 4, a little under-equipped. You've got the wood sword, got a couple bosses that do not want to play nice. So seeing which one of these guys gets through here, like we said, clean, gets the early bombs, those types of things is going to be very important going forward.
And no question about it right here. Yeah, if they can get the early bombs, you don't have to take down all 4 of those orange dark nuts. They have 4 hit points apiece, and you're going to lose a heart every time you get bopped by them. So you got to be very, very careful. And that's why 3 first is always a dangerous route, because it's so easy to take a crucial death. And deaths in this game are very costly, specifically in level 9, but any death is very costly, because not only do you lose time, you have to go back in the screen you died on before you may continue your quest.
Yeah, absolutely. Neither of these guys got the lucky RNG by getting that very early bomb, but they're both making pretty quick work of this 3. 5 and 6 bombs, respectively, which is a decent amount to get back to Manhandle on. Got a raft about the same time, that type of thing. So we're looking right on pace for these guys here early.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see if these runners are able to keep it up, and like to see a competitive race between these two. It is definitely anybody's game at this point.
Yeah, so here's kind of the first benchmark of the race, kind of the tightening up, if you will. We got to worry about Manhandla, who has some crazy RNG. He likes to either dive bomb you right away or just kind of troll you and go away from you. So you're trying to get him out in one bomb. Let's see what happens here.
All right, BT is the first to Manhandla, and bullseye! Gets him in one shot. Perfect kill right there.
Yeah, very nice job by BT there.
Now let's see how Saver does in his fight. No, couldn't quite get the bullseye. He's going to be in a little bit of trouble now. Got him.
Yeah, using some good pause strats in the corner to see where he ends up. So that was pretty nice. Got it. We'll check this out.
Alright, I am going to go ahead and we will start it right now. We do apologize for that. We were having a little bit of syncing issues there, but hopefully we are back on track. So, we have just entered level 4 at the 255 mark on BT side. Saver's going to be roughly 10 seconds behind him. Now, I said that they were taking the same route, but there is going to be a slight divergence of path, because BT's doing the 3-4-1-5 start, but Saver's doing the 3-4-1-2 start.
Yeah, it's kind of a unique start because a lot of the transition between level 1 and level 5 is a little risky, right? Because you're trying to get the 60 rupees, you're trying to get the bomb count high enough to be able to get through 5 and get through the room of requirement. So one of the ways you can do that is to go to 2 first, which gives you bombs. It provides you bombs for 5, but then what you have to worry about on the backside is having enough coming out of 5 for 7. So it's kind of pick your poison on where you want to work on your bombs, and Saber's going to do that on the back end.
Absolutely. And you got to have at least 2 bombs, and this is where things could get a little bit dicey for Saver. He only has 2 bombs to his name because he was unable to get an extra bomb from the Manhandla because he couldn't get the bullseye on it. If he wouldn't have taken a hit, that wouldn't have been an issue for him. He still would have gotten his bomb drop. That's the reason why we have a difference in bombs here, as BT's got his 5 bombs, and now he has just picked up his ladder 4 minutes and 2 seconds in.
Yeah, 402 ladder is a pretty respectable ladder for a race situation. It's respectable anyway, but for BT to pick that up at 402, he's got to be feeling pretty good about himself in the early game.
Yes, indeed. So now he's going to go through this locked door, and that is something you would normally not do casually because this is the tea room. You got to do a rather difficult ladder clip and having just a little bit of trouble, but BT manages to cross that gap. Gets a few extra rupees in the process. You bomb to the north so you can pick up this key.
Yeah, but you saw him leave a couple rupees there on the ground. What he's going to think about right now is just doing the double 100 strat, just because he didn't get any extra rupees before. Like level 3 didn't give him any, level 4 early game didn't give him any. So right now he's going to make the decision, I'm not going to farm rupees at all. I'm just going to work on my bomb count, I'll do the double hundo and make up that time difference there.
Yep, and that'll ensure that you have enough rupees to purchase all the equipment you need. Meanwhile, Saver does collect all of the rupees on the ground, 505, and he's got 15 rupees, and now a Gliok fight. 2-headed Gliok fight, 10 wood sword hits for the first head, 6 for the second, and that was a perfect fight right there by BT. No damage at all.
Yeah, when you have beam strats there, you can sit kind of a couple tiles behind. If he was in looking after his record, going after a PB, that type of thing, he'd have been a little more aggressive. But when you're in race strats and you've got beams, you can sit back like he did and play a little safer.
Unfortunately, Saver's not going to get the luxury of the beam sword. He is out of bombs, so this is going to have to be a pretty good Gliok fight because you definitely do not want to be taking a death here, especially against someone with the caliber of BT. Down to 1.5 hearts, you got to be careful.
Yeah, he took a couple bops right here, too. So he's at 1.5 hearts, like you said. And one of the things about Saver that we all know is he uses these pause strats. So you see it's not glitching the game. The game's not skipping or anything. There's nothing wrong with your TV. What he's doing is he's pausing to see where that fireball is going so he can react to that and then go ahead and attack Gliok again.
Yep, that was a very good strategy right there. Yes, it's a little slower, but it prevents him from dying. And again, deaths are very costly in this game. Now, BT's side, he has just entered level 1, and you saw that he exited the cave and re-entered it. By doing that, it causes a glitch. People like to call it the pirouette move, and boy, what a bomb that was by BT to take care of all of the Stealthos. Nice shot.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I want to draw your attention real quick to Saber's side. So usually he goes to 1 right now, but you have to have a bomb like you just saw that bomb that BT did. Well, Saber doesn't have that bomb. So what he's going to do is he's actually going to do the more famous 100% route by going to 2 right now, picking up the bombs, and he's going to do 1 a little bit later. So Saber's doing the world wrap right now, going to pick up the hearts that he can on the coast, go into 2, get the bombs, probably do 5, and then finish off 1 a little later. So he's rerouted himself in the middle of this race.
And that is very unfortunate on his part. Yes, it is not a faster route, but it's something that you have to do to stay alive. And hopefully he gets some bomb drops from these blue Octoroks, but unfortunately the game is not providing him anything until now.
Yeah, absolutely. Just picked up that bomb, luckily, on the global there. So sailing across, getting this heart. He's going to go into 2. He's got 4 bombs now. So he's going to need a couple really good levels here, a 2, a 5, a 1 to go pretty quick to catch BT. BT is still green on his splits right now. And for BT to be green on his splits against his average, he's having a really good race.
Absolutely. One thing I did want to finish mentioning, I didn't finish mentioning the pirouette move. When you go in and out of level 1, that locked door to the north will automatically open, so that way you're not having to grab an extra key. And you're going to see randomizer players do it all the time, and not just from the north, but to the west and to the east. You can pull off that same move to either uncover a bomb hole or to unlock a door.
Yeah, absolutely. The resource management is something you always talk about in Randomizer. It's the same thing here, right? When we're running PBs and we're trying to find the fastest route to anything, resource management is absolutely key in that. And that trick, being able to do that in level 1, saves us from grabbing a key somewhere else later.
All right, so next up we are in level 2 for Saver, which does have quite a few bomb holes, but he's just going to take a straight path north to where he is right now, where he will face off against Dodongo and get his Triforce out of level 2. His hope is that he comes out of level 2 with the maximum 8 bombs.
Yeah, absolutely, because he's going to have to transition 2 into 5, so he's going to need all those bombs for that room of requirement when we take a look at that. So he needs to get out of here with the max bombs, like you said. I will say, though, both these guys, the knowledge of the game, I mean, they're both at the elite level. For Saber to know right away, okay, I have no bombs in 4, let's just go ahead and route 2 before 1 and 5 and that type of thing. That's just expert playing on a race level to be able to know the backup strats like that.
Saber getting a lucky fairy from that drop. He might have forced a fairy, actually, but in any event, he is back up to 6 hearts, and having as many hearts coming out of a dungeon is vital because you want as little of a refill as you possibly can.
Yep, and you see BT over there going with that double hundo like we talked about before. So what he did was he went up there to the Northeast 100, grabbed that. He's going to have enough money now for the candle. He's going to be able to skip a 30 later, which is going to save him that time back, and he'll have arrow strats for 7. So things are looking good for BT on his side.
And not a Trolldongo at all for Saver. That was well positioned. He gets his maximum bombs, and he'll get his Triforce out of level 2 as BT gets his candle from this cave right here as he makes his way to level 5.
Yeah, for a candleless 2, because the candle really provides you a lot of efficiency in how you clear those ropes. For a candleless 2, that was pretty good for Saver.
Yeah, absolutely. CrystalSaver, one of the best in business, both in the vanilla game and in Randomizer. Level 5, a lot of bombs, a lot of Gyvdos, a lot of damage if you're not careful, because every time you get hit by Gyvdos or the blue dart nuts that we're about to see in this room that he's entering, you're going to lose 2 hearts each time, so you must tread carefully.
Yeah, and absolutely. And BT just had a wonderful fork Gyvdo pattern there where all 3 of those Gyvdos lined up right at the hole there, and he was able to grab the bomb. He also got another random bomb drop as well. So he's sitting on 8 bombs with the count right now. This is going to be a pretty good recorder room for him.
Well, he missed completely on that first one, however. Let's see if he can recover. Each of these Dark Nuts have 8 hit points, so if you're able to land 2 bomb shots at him, you can take him out. But gotta be careful where those bombs are facing, because if you are facing right at the Dark Nuts and you throw a bomb at them and they get hit, they're just gonna guard your shot.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I like him doing right here is he's able to use the sword. A lot of people use the sword at the end, like when you run out of bombs, that type of thing. He's using the sword in the middle of the bomb strikes too. So just to soften him up, because that bomb's going to do 4 and he's got to finish them off anyway. So go ahead and take some out while you're waiting for them to group up. So that was a really nice room by BT, even though it's a little slow for his standards.
Yeah, and it's slow and steady sometimes wins a race like this, and he still has full health, so he gets to keep his beam sword.
Yeah, having beams, and he's going to have 2 bombs here, so he can either use 1 bombs on the Gibdos as he's coming back through this, or he's going to be the 2 bomb strats with Dig Dogger. Probably do the former.
We see that CrystalSaver is going to head for this candle shop right here. He'll also pick up his blue candle and make the same play to get to level 5.
Yep, so you see Saver's pocket change is a little higher than what we're used to. That's just because he had to reroute himself. So he hasn't gotten any more secrets than he needs to or anything like that. The bunny's just going to look a little weird until he gets everything back straight in level 7.
Interesting that BT would leave those bombs behind. He could have been up to 5 bombs at this point, because you kind of want to try to have either 1 bomb for Dig Dogger or 2 bombs for Dig Dogger if you decide not to go with the sword strats, because I do believe that Dig Dogger has 8 hit points per segment.
Yeah, I think what he wanted to do there is you want to just go ahead and automatically transition to recorder. So if you do 1 bomb transition to recorder, you don't have to make that extra menu later. And so if he picks up that bomb, it's nice, but 1, he had to go back for it. 2, he's going to waste a menu by going ahead and doing that transition. So I think that's why he left him on the floor there.
I can understand that. So that might just have been strategy on BT's part, because he will be heading for, I do believe, level 7 after this. No, level 2. He's heading for level 2, which Saver already completed. Let's see how he does against Dig Dogger. That was a pretty good fight.
Yeah, he actually got a good pattern. Dig Dogger went ahead and stayed in the southeast for him, enabling him to corral him in the southeast, hit the 4 wood sword hits, and he was on his way.
Now let's see how Saver does against the Room of Requirement. Unfortunately, he only has 4 hearts and no beam sword to take care of these blue dark nuts. Now, if he gets lucky, he might get a fairy drop, because blue dark nuts are in the health drop group, so they tend to favor dropping hearts and fairies. As you can see right there, he picks up an extra heart.
Yeah, he had a couple chances there to drop a bomb, and I think he was just a little hesitant on there. He doesn't want to lose these bombs because he has to go through 1 and 7 both. He's probably going to do 1 a little bit later, though, so he's considering his bomb count leaving 5. He's got 2, and he's got 4 more he's going to pick up in that Gibdo room coming back through, but he's more worried about the levels after this than he is this level right now.
Right now, taking it a little slow so that he keeps all of his help and his 2 bombs, because to get to level 7, you need at least 5 bombs. But the optimal speedrun strat is that you want to have 7 bombs going into level 7.
Yeah, absolutely. BT is just, I see it in chat, he's flying. He's absolutely flying. He's still green against his average. He's not, his PB is, at the elite level, right? So it's going to be hard for him to PB in a race like this, but he's green against his averages, which his average right now is a 30-47. So, he is within shouting distance of a 30-30, something like that. That's the pace he's on.
Good news for Saver, he did get a fairy drop from those blue dark nuts, so now he's got the beam sword. Bad news is, it gets another fairy that now he doesn't need. The bad news is, those blue dark nuts didn't want to cooperate.
No, not at all. That was a pretty lengthy recorder room, and again, somebody like BT, you got to hope it goes a little faster than that, a little better than that. He does have beam sword. He's got a couple bombs. He's going to get 4 more here, so that's nice, but just took a little longer in the recorder room than you wanted to against somebody like BT.
Good news for BT, he had lost his beam sword, but the blue Octorok was nice enough to drop a heart, so now he's got his beam sword back as he enters level 2.
Yeah, so now you're going to see the efficiency of the blue candle like we were talking about before. Being able to burn the ropes as you're sorting them down will help a lot in some of the later rooms.
Yeah, that's right. With the blue candle, you can only fire it once on the screen. Now, oh boy, an embarrassment of bombs did BT get from those red gorillas. That was very nice. They are in the bomb drop group, and the game certainly helped them out there.
And that's why he left the bomb on the ground in 5, right there.
Yeah, he must have known.
He
this
knew.
is all scripted. Yeah, this is all scripted. BT knew he was going to get those bombs from the gorillas.
You always say the game knows, Laws, but this time BT knew.
You better believe it, Redbird. And now he's got 1 more room left to complete before he will pit against the Dodongo. The Troll Dongo, as some people like to call him. He gets even more bombs from that gorilla, so bombs for days.
Yeah, it's so funny here too, right? He's on a pretty good pace, and this is the time that Dodongo usually just heads right or heads north or does whatever he wants to do,
yep,
which he's doing right now.
Exactly. Well, everything has a way of balancing out, but nonetheless, he does have his maximum 8 bombs, and BT is completed level 2. Now let's see how CrystalSaver does against Dig Dogger here in level 5.
Yeah, and he's sitting at 8 bombs, so what he's probably going to do is do the 1 bomb strat 2 on good health. He wants to leave here with 7 bombs, so I doubt you'll see the 2 bomb strat from Saber.
No, because you're taking a risk that in level 7 that you want to get a bomb drop from those orange gorillas, and that is never a guarantee in this game. So, yep, he just does the safe fight right there, and not a problem. He's got his Triforce out of level 5, so I would imagine he's going to either head to level 1 or to level 7 next.
And we've got a Rue sighting over here, guys.
He got it! A Rue sighting. That's one of the new strats that we've discovered here in 2018. That was an amazing trick right there. Could you describe what that trick is for the home audience?
Yeah, basically, this was discovered by Rue Slugs a couple weeks ago, and Uno showed it off in one of the earlier races. But what's happening there is the recorder, whenever you record to a level, what it does is the game is setting you to the left side of that level, and you always see yourself transitioning into the right. Well, what happens with the raft is the same thing. You're always going one screen to the north. So what the recorder's doing is it's saying, hey, I want to go right now to level 4. Set me to the left of level 4. Okay? And then the raft says, okay, now I take precedence and set me one screen above that. So what's happening is you go one screen northwest of the location you blew to with the recorder.
Yeah, it's a very interesting strat. It's hard to believe. This game is now 32 years old, and we are still discovering brand new strats to this day.
Yeah, it's really cool, and you can't really use it too much in first quest right now, but in second quest, it blew the doors off sometimes some people's PBs, so it's already being used there to reroute.
That's amazing. Now we have the divergence of paths. We have BT in level 7. We've got Saver in level 1 right now, so he'll be heading to level 7 after this.
Yep, so now we have the infamous river room that BT's in, which always just saps your time. There's no way to do this correctly unless you just have a god river room, but had a pretty good job there. Lost a couple hearts, got him back, and now he's leaving there with beams, which is what you always want to do.
Yeah, right you are on that aspect. And the bait that you have to purchase, well, we've got this gorilla that says grumble, grumble, and you cannot pass unless you feed him this meat. So that's the reason why you have to purchase that 60 rupee bait in the blue ring shop.
I also want to say, as good as BT is at this game, I'm watching his stream as we do this. He's having casual conversations with people who are over hanging out watching the Super Bowl as he's flying through this level 7. It's unreal what he's doing right now to this game.
Yeah, it's amazing how much focus he has in a game like this. I know I probably couldn't do something while trying to do 3 things at once, so you got to give BT a lot of credit for doing that. That Diamond Staircase has the red candle. That's a route you might see some runners take if things don't go well early on. They might, not buy the blue candle, then get the red candle out of level 7.
Yeah, the only reason you need that candle is to get into level 8, right? So it's just depending on which route you want to take and the resources you want to get before getting the blue or the red candle and which way you want to do it. So, yeah, like you said, every runner does it differently, and BT's chosen to do the blue candle route here.
All right, this is a very dangerous room here, this reverse C, because you have these 5 wall masters and you've got all these bubbles, and anytime you get hit by a bubble, you're going to lose your sword for about 5 seconds. Bow and arrow comes very handy in a fight like this, and that was well done by BT.
Yeah, it always stinks to go to the bow and arrow because you lose that menu to get off your bombs, go to the bow and arrow, and then get back on the bombs in the next screen. But it is much better than walking back through 45 seconds later through level 7 after getting wall masters.
You don't want to get wall mastered at a time like this. That's one of the openings that could give Saver a chance to catch up, but BT did not allow that to happen. He'll take down this Gluyak, 6 hit points, not a problem. Good fight, and the Triforce out of level 7.
Yep, so what we see now is we need to see Saver kind of following back on path, if you will. He's following BT's footsteps. Now he's going to have to do some shopping. He's going to go into level 7, and he's a full level 7, which is about a 3-minute level behind BT, plus this shopping here. So he's got quite a bit of ground to make up.
Absolutely. So what's going to happen here is if there's any chance right now that Saver wants to catch up, he can't take a death, and he's got to hope. He's got to hope at this point that BT gets high roll drivered.
Yeah, it's going to have to take something like that because, 3 minutes, if you're giving BT 3 minutes, it's something major has to happen here.
Yeah, BT's having quite a good run. He is well below his average pace right now, so he is killing this seed right now. In fact, he's 11.5 seconds ahead now of his average split, so yeah, he is doing really good things in this race tonight.
You ever taken that Guinea Bop right there? That is terrible. I hate taking that because I don't know if his spawns are going to be affected, but his ego probably is after taking that Bop there.
Yeah, you don't want to get hit by Guineas. They have a lot of hit points, and people, particularly in randomizer, not in this game, but they might do Guinea farming because they are in the money-dropping group. when there's a Guinea out there, if you touch a gravestone, more Guineas spawn. But the only one that does damage, the one that you can hurt, is the Master Guinea. But when you kill the Master Guinea, the other Guineas disappear, and you can get a boatload of cash from them.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we see BT now doing BT things, and that's a fast room right there when you've got Beam Sword. He just cleared that room out, took no damage, and just went right on like it was nothing, down 2 hearts. So BT is just amazing in the late game.
Here we go with the magical breakfast room. We've got pancakes and whiz robes and more bubbles. And I think it's one of the things. Oh, and he gets a clock. That's a nice time for a clock.
Yeah, absolutely. That room didn't really go the way he wanted it to. He didn't take much damage because he got bubbled a couple times, and his iframes kind of prevented a little bit of damage there, and he danced around a couple of the whiz robes. That was a very, very timely clock there.
Yeah, no question about it. Whiz robes, in my opinion, aren't hard because they're whiz robes. Whiz robes are hard because most of the time they're often accompanied by bubbles.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of times the enemies in the room aren't the bad situation, like the reverse C room in 9, right? It's not the enemies. We can handle whiz robes. It's no problem. It's the stinking bubbles that come with it.
And that's why you're going to see, hopefully, these players get extra bombs for reverse C, because you need a certain number of bombs in level 9 in order to take care of it, because if you use your bombs too quickly, you won't be able to complete level 9. So that's why resource management, like we talked about earlier, big thing, and you could see that happen in level 9.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Saber now going through 7. Saber's having a pretty decent 7 for himself. He's only down 3 hearts. He's got decent bombs here. Gonna be able to get through here, no problem. And he's not really caught up too much here, unless he has a really good 6. But BT's 6 wasn't up to kind of BT's standards here. It was an okay one, but not the best he's ever had.
Yeah, it was kind of a rough one, but nonetheless, he does survive, and he is still ahead of his average pace after that level 6 as he gets his Triforce. 1 to go, and it's level 8.
Yeah, level 8 is kind of the last stumbling block before we get to level 9 here, because now we've got these blue dark nuts and the blue lagoons. I mean, tell us about these blue lagoons, Laws. What do you think?
Well, there are 2 blue lagoon rooms that you have to deal with in level 8, and they are both required. Well, you have, I think, 5 or 6 blue dark nuts in each room, and again, now this time you have the magical sword, so you only need to stab them twice to defeat them, but they still take the same 2 hearts of damage when you get bopped by them, and not only that, you have to deal with these turret statues that are shooting fireballs at you, and that makes the room really annoying. If you can get into those rooms with Beam Sword, that'll really help you out.
Yeah, and we're going to see 2 of the best here at the Darknet rooms, and being able to maneuver through them and the efficiency of combat. There's nobody better than, BT and CrystalSaver in those. Saber, just from his, his vast rando experience, I mean, he's got a great no-up A time as well. But, pause strats and difficult rooms. I saw him warming up for this going through level 6 on Wood Sword. That's the kind of runner Saber is. So we're seeing 2 of the best here go through this.
So here we are. We got 5 blue dark nuts that have to be taken care of. 2 hits apiece. So far, so good. He has kept his Beam Sword. He just lost it there, but he gets it back because of that heart. Well played right there. BT had a great Blue Lagoon room number 1. He still has his Beam Sword.
Yeah, it's a really good one anyway. Like, if that was in my PB chance, I would take that all day. This isn't a race for him. So BT is just doing BT things right now. It's great.
Now here's the blue dark nut room, the Blue Lagoon room that has 6 blue dark nuts, and again 2 hits apiece. And this time, trying to go a little bit aggressive here. He's been hit a couple of times, but he still has plenty of health. Just a couple more blue dark nuts left to go. Saver, meanwhile, is now in level 6. He is a couple of rooms away from having to do his first magical breakfast room himself.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job there of managing his health. He went in, like you said, aggressive, and then when it started not working out for him, he played it a little safer, dodging fireballs and dodging the blue darkness. One thing you don't want to do is get around 3 or 4 hearts because you got this 4-headed Gleeok to face when you come back out of these stairs.
Now, the good news is it only takes 9 hits. It's a 4-headed Gleeok. First head is 3 hits. The other 3 take 2 hit points apiece, so just 2 stabs from the magical sword. Take him down quick. That was a really good Gleeok fight. Still ahead of his average pace, so now he'll be going into level 9. His bomb situation could be a little bit better, though.
Yeah, he's at 6 bombs right now. He's got the 1 rupee you need to defeat Ganon. That's it. He will be working a count here to try to fill up on bombs before he gets out of the next room.
Saver getting a lucky bomb drop from those Vires, and now he's going to try and tackle this second breakfast room. More whiz robes, more pancakes, more eggs.
Yeah, and if you sit here like he is, right there in the middle, you can take out those 2 blue Wizrobes. Very well done. A very good start to this second breakfast room. Very good finish to it, too. That was a very good room by Saber there.
Yeah, you better believe it. And I think getting swallowed by the last pancake is the best strategy because you still have that bubble chasing you down. You're going to lose your sword for 5 seconds if you get hit by it. That was a smart play on Saber's part, just to swallow it and take the damage.
Yep, sometimes you take that first sword swing and you push him away, and so you have to go chase him, like you said, and just keeping him there was really well done. Look at these, oh my god, the dodges there on BT's side, right around Death Mountain.
Man, unbelievable. He's looking like one of those running backs that, you can't take him down, and then all of a sudden you're at the front of the 10-yard line. All of a sudden you're into the end zone. That was just great artful dodging there by BT. And now here we are in level 9. Saber just picked up his Triforce out of level 6. Next up, he'll be heading for level 8. So looking at the splits right now, it is going to take at least 1 death for CrystalSaver to catch up to BT. BT is just cruising. I mean, there's not really been much wrong with what... The only thing that really hurt Saver was his resource management early on. He only had 2 bombs for level 4, never got any extra bomb drops, and he had to take a divergence of path. So it's like neither of these players have really made any mistakes in their combat. It's just the fact that, well, BT's been getting luckier.
Yeah, it was the routing choice, right? So the routing has caused the time difference here. BT's been a little cleaner and takes a Wizrobe beam that he dodges expertly here in level 9. But yeah, BT's been a little cleaner in a lot of the dungeons. We do have a Patcher 1 going left, though. Let's see how he handles it here.
Only got to hit just the 1, so he still has 10 hearts to his name. 13 hearts is what both of these runners are going to have going into level 9. Now let's see how Saber does in his first Blue Lagoon room. Fortunately, getting hit by the turret statues and then getting bopped by the blue dart nuts, but looks like he's not going to have too much trouble getting through this room, and he gets his key. He still has plenty of health for the second Lagoon room.
Let me say this real quick. BT had a Patra go left on him, but then he was able to get out of there with 1 hit, like you said, maneuver through, grabs a clock in the next room, and he came out of there with beams, and then he just lost a heart to those Zals. But man, what a first couple rooms there by BT.
Unfortunately, Patra 2 was not very impressed by those dodging skills and decides to bop him for 2 hearts.
Yeah, Saber's getting actually really good patterns here from the blue dark nets and making kind of quick work of these lagoons here. So doing really good. He might make up a few seconds, but he's already, too little too late unless there's a death, like you said. But he's actually having a pretty good 8 for himself over here.
And as if BT wasn't lucky enough, he gets a bomb drop from that last orange Wizrobe as he's going to go ahead and pick up his silver arrows from this reverse C room.
Yeah, and he's over here laughing because, he's sitting there thinking about bombs the entire race, and now he's got 8 bombs leaving reverse C. So sometimes the game just likes to troll you by throwing you things when you don't need them.
Yeah, because you want the bombs before the end of reverse C, not after. But, they might come in handy in the last room that's got the Zols and the pancakes and the bubbles. Might come in handy if the bubbles decide to troll him.
How about a no refill 8 from Saber over there? That was a very nice Gliok 2 but from him. That was really well done.
That was fantastic. It is very hard to get out of a level 8 with no refill, but Saber did just that, so got to give him props. His level 8 was pretty darn good, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so this thing's not over yet. Saber's heading towards 9. BT's about half full on hearts, which usually you can finish the game that way, but there's rooms that sometimes get away from you. You never know, so stay tuned. This thing's not over yet.
Luckily, he did get an insurance heart, which he just lost to the spike trap. I don't know if he was trying to do a damage boost or not, but here's where that could be a problem, Redbird. Saber's going to go ahead and buy a red potion just in case things don't work out well for BT. Here's the situation. He's currently sitting on 5 hearts. If he takes any hit from Patra before the Ganon fight, he could get Hyrule Driver to death and have to do this level 9 all over again on 3 hearts.
Yeah, absolutely. 4.5 hearts or bust is what you want to go into Ganon with, just for that insurance bop that you might have. He does go ahead and grayscale Patra 3, so going to make it a little harder for himself, but you got to have the swag in front of your boys, right?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's Ganon. So here we are with 5 hearts, need 4 magical sword hits to take down the beast, and 1 rupee for the silver arrow. He's got 3 rupees, so he's in good shape. There's 1, but unfortunately not getting the correct. There we go, 3. Getting the silver arrows ready. 4, he's got it. We've got bacon. We've got the Triforce of Power, and we've got a winner. BT has won the race against CrystalSaver. He is now 2-0 in the tournament.
Yeah, he puts up an official SRL time of 30 minutes, 31 seconds. So, holy cow, what a run by BT there.
He was green the entire time. He was below his splits the entire way for his average. That was a good time. I mean, Saver's PB is 30 minutes and 30 seconds, so the only way Saver would have won this race, he would have needed a PB by 4 seconds. It was just BT just had too good of a race tonight. He was good.
Yeah, and that was very close to a race PB for BT. His race PB right now is 30:27, so he's 4 seconds off of that. So that was a heck of a run by him.
And speaking of BT, we do have BT in the commentator's booth. BT, congratulations on a very, very well fought a very, very well fought race. 30 minutes and 27 seconds was your time. 30:31, the official SRL time. Go over this with us because you played very, very well.
I think everything went super well until the bad stuff started happening. I don't do the double hundo very often, but I saw Arcus playing this game a lot, and I was like, that seems like it's really, really solid for a race route.
Absolutely, and boy, what a level 9 that you had right there. I mean, you were getting bomb drops after bomb drops, and then you treated us to the grayscale at the end. Boy, that was just absolutely fantastic. Your combat was pretty smooth throughout the entire run. I mean, it looked like you didn't make too many mistakes, and you were ahead of your average pace the entire time. I mean, you just played a pretty clean race. I mean, there's just nothing to it. You did very, very well, BT.
Oh, thank you so much. I got a little bit of time to warm up. I was watching the big game, and then popped down here for like 10 minutes, and then got a little run going, and I felt pretty good going into it. And yeah, after I ran out of bombs in 6, got a little worried, but then it was an embarrassment of bombs from there on out.
Absolutely, indeed. And bombs, that happened to be an issue for Saver. That's how he fell behind rather early. He had to take an alternate route because he only had 2 bombs for level 4 because Manhandler decided to be Troll Handler for Saver, and he didn't get any extra bombs from Moblins after he was done with level 4, so he had to take an alternate route, and unfortunately, that was one of the things that caused his undoing. But even if that wasn't the case, you played really well. He would have needed a PB by 4 seconds. That's how good you played today, BT.
Dang, that was a thrill ride, man. I did not get a very good manhandler, but I placed a very well disciplined bomb. I actually worked up a count, so if I perfect bombed him, he would still drop it.
Absolutely, and you managed to bullseye the manhandler anyway, so you didn't have to worry about that. But yeah, your skills, they're pretty darn good, and you're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the tournament. So 2-0 now in the Swiss rounds. Congratulations on your victory. Redbird, do you have any other questions for BT?
I think the real bugging question, first of all, GG, BT. The real pressing question in everybody's mind was, were you worried on the double hundo route of scrolling yourself back into the mountains coming off that?
I had only seen that happen to myself once before, so the thought was in my mind. But no, I wasn't really worried at all. No,
I'm just messing with you. No, GG's, man. It was very well executed. It was very fun to watch somebody that's very technically proficient at the game go through it in a clockwork manner like you did. And it's just really well run. I mean, there was really no questions where I'm like, oh, were you worried about this? Because I don't think you were worried at all during this entire run, were you?
I was really worried early on. I was like, in 3, I was like, oh, this is a good 3. And then I ran into a dark nut in the room of requirement there above the raft. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, I got to calm down. So I took a couple breaths, and I got myself straightened out, and I just was like, let's just finish a game without dying, and that's how you get the best time, is you just don't die, and you don't lose all your bombs.
Yeah, it's funny because you were green to your average splits, pretty much steady all the way through, so I could tell, like, this is just the pace you wanted to be on, and besides the early stuff like you were talking about, but just you were just kind of taking it at your own pace and your own, BT being BT type of thing.
Yep,
yeah,
go ahead.
Leaving level 1, I was actually minus 9.5 on my, not my PB, but my PB this year. I haven't got a PB since 8 months ago, so I've been working off of a 29:58 is the fastest time I've recorded this year, or the last 8 months, kind of. So, but leaving 1, I was almost 10 seconds ahead of that time.
Excellent job on your run tonight, as CrystalSaver has just taken down Ganon. We've got more bacon, and we've got another Triforce of Power. Let's see those GGs for CrystalSaver. Both of you had a deathless run today, but BT, you just played out of your mind in this race. So congratulations again on your victory, and again, congratulations to Saver for putting up a very respectable time. Neither player took a death. It was a clean run for both.
Yeah, Saver finishes with an official SRL time of 35:18. Let's see if we can get him in here for an interview as well. I do want to ask you too while we're waiting for him. BT, how hard is it to run this in front of your boys while you're sitting there watching the Super Bowl?
Oh, it's pretty hard. Tell you what. I don't know why the girls didn't come down. That would have been pretty funny. We would have seen girls on cam. But, you know, teach their own. There's a saver.
Indeed, we do now have CrystalSaver in the commentator's booth. CrystalSaver, a very solid race by you. No deaths for either player. But it looks like you had some resource management trouble early on. Go over that with us.
I kind of forgot what happened, but I think I wasted all my bombs on Manhandler. No, that was
Yeah.
in 4.
Yeah,
I had 2 bombs.
Yeah, Manhandla really hurt you. You tried to get the bullseye on him. Unfortunately, you only took 3/4 of him out, and then you took a hit before you were able to get off the last segment, so you didn't get the bomb drop from the Manhandla, and that really hurt you because you went into level 4 with just 2 bombs. You exited with no bombs, and unfortunately, you could not get any drops from the blue moblins, and that forced you to take an alternate path.
Right, I was trying to count to 10 to get a force bomb, but for some reason I thought I was going to get it later, and then I realized, oh wait, I got to use 2 bombs already. Well, time to do the alternate path that wasted 4 minutes.
Yeah, it was a tough go, but if it's any consolation, BT, he was just on cruise control. You would have needed to have PB'd. Your PB is 30 minutes and 30 seconds. Is that correct?
That would be correct for a race PB.
Oh, a race PB. What's your PB? Is that Is that also your PB as well?
29.59 white sword.
I think that would be correct.
Oh, so you actually do have a 29.59. Yeah, you would have needed a race PB by 4 seconds in order to beat BT. BT was just on fire tonight, but you played very, very well as well. We were very impressed at your level 8.
Thanks. Level 5 was annoying with the wood sword and all those dark nuts. I also didn't have bombs there.
Yeah, you said that you went in that room with 2 bombs and had to wood sword them down. It was very well done, but slower than what you would want to come out of there with for sure.
I had a count going too, and then they hit me and, well, time to sort them all.
Yep, and you were able to get out of there with Beam Sword. In fact, both of you actually managed to get out of the room of requirement with Beam Sword, so I was very impressed by both of your skills in that Blue Dark Nut room in level 5. So obviously, you're 2 of the best players in the Zelda tournament right now. Congratulations again, BT, going to 2-0. CrystalSaver, you go to 1-1, but you're still very much alive in the tournament. We still have 3 more rounds of the Swiss tournament, so plenty of chances for you to get back on track.
When I get more time, I can probably practice more. Hopefully I can get it down to like a 33 or 32.
Very, very good. So, again, congratulations on a very well-fought race. Redbird, do you have any final questions for either one of our contestants tonight?
No questions. Just want to say GG's to both of you. It was fun to watch this race and 2 very high-skilled runners going at it. So look forward to watching you guys in the future as well.
Hey, thanks so much, and GG's.
Thanks, and GG to you too, Besticle.
All right, so that's going to do it for us here at Super Bowl Sunday. Again, on behalf of our 2 racers, Breasticle and CrystalSaver, on behalf of our restreamer, JSR2 Gamers, and on behalf of my commentator partner, Redbird Grad, this is LZ Cardsfan 23 signing off. We will see you again next time for more exciting action in the Legend of Zelda Any Percent No Up and A tournament.